Hey guys, Dr. Greg here, and in this video I'm going to dive into one of the most common infections that I see when we run the right labs on people. Hey, what do you guys think of my shirt? Restoring hope and health. You know, because that's what we do. So many people, by the time they find us, they've lost hope. And they've expected the medical system to give them the answers, and the reality is they're not doing it. So if you're this person that you're like, man, I've had all these tests and my numbers are quote unquote normal, but I don't feel normal, don't lose hope. And if anything, I'd love to give you a dose of vitamin H. We call that vitamin hope. So let's talk about parasites. So number one, I stopped doing the medical gold standard test about 10 years ago for parasites. It's called an OMP, ova and parasite. It's a poop test. It's a fecal test where they'd send a poop sample to a lab. They put it under a microscope, and the reality is, I don't know that I ever got a positive test back. And then we had cases where some lab markers showed some possibility, and we treated these people for parasites, and guess what? They pooped out parasites, or parasites can come out of other parts of your body also. So the gold standard is no longer, and really hasn't proven to be the gold standard. Now, I need to tell you that there is another potential indicator on labs that can tell us if your body has a parasitic load. Okay, so it's in something called your complete blood count, and it's what we call the differentials. And there's two ways that you can look at differentials. So there's percentages. So the two main markers are eosinophils, and the second one is something called basophils. So if eosinophil percentage is above 3%, and if basophil percentage is above 1, in functional medicine, that is a strong indicator that there is the presence of parasites in your system. Now, a little math lesson. If you do not have the percentages of your eosinophils or basophils, but you have the absolute number. So if your lab does not break them down into percentages, but you have an absolute number, there's a simple way to run a mathematical calculation to figure it out. So you would take your basophil absolute number, you would then divide it by your white blood cell count number, and then take that times 100 to figure out your percentage. So eosinophils and basophils are one of the indicators as how we determine whether someone has a parasite infection, and then we get after it. And by the way, if you have one, please do not treat it right away. The reality is you can do the right thing at the wrong time, and it's still the wrong thing. So respectfully, it's not a do-it-yourself game, ladies and gentlemen. So reach out to us, we'll give you a hand.